Hey everyone, I wanted to do this tutorial for you, for all of you that are on teams that serve at the well. We will now be rolling out new schedules through our new data system, CCB, or Church Community Builder. And so in this next week, you're going to be getting email requests from CCB, and you will either be able to decline or accept through this email, just like you did with Planning Center. And everyone that is on a team, with the exception of the worship team, will now be using the new schedule in CCB. So when you get the request, it's going to come through your email from this email right here, this title right here. And as you look at your email, you'll see that it says you have a new volunteer request. Also, you're going to get a text as well, if we have your mobile carrier. Through this CCB system, it does require a mobile carrier. So if you want to opt in for text for serving requests, if you would just email me at carla@thewellslc.com and let me know your mobile carrier, and I can add that in, and that way you'll get the texts as well. But this is what you're going to see through an email. So after you've gone in, you're just going to go down here to the respond button, and once you've clicked that, it's going to take you to a CCB web page. And you don't need to log in or anything, but what you're going to see are the dates that you've been requested and the positions. So for example, I'm going to click on this one right here, and this one is through the kids department. So this SM stands for service manager, and on the times that, or on the dates and times that you've been requested to serve, it'll have a position and then the serving time and date for which you've been requested. So right here you'll see this is your serving time. This associated times that we've put in for kids ministry, these are the times that we would like for our volunteers to check in. So if you're at the 9 a.m. service, we're going to ask that you check in at 8:15. That's also when our morning rally starts, so we'd love to have you there at that time. Here is for our 11 o'clock service, we're asking you to check in at 10:30, and then for the PM service, asking you to check in for 4:15. So if you are able to accept, then you simply click accept. If for some reason you can't, you're going to click here. So I'm just going to do this just so you can see. And so if for some reason I couldn't do this, I'm going to say, I'm sorry, I'm out of town that day. Okay, and then I would click decline, and that's going to get sent to your team lead who sent the email. So on this one, I'm going to go ahead and say that I can do it. Same thing here, and you can see it automatically emailed me right away, verifying my decline. And then this was on another date, so I'll just go ahead and accept that. And okay, so then once I've done that and I've clicked on all the ones that I've been requested for, I can hit back, and then this will come up. And when you see this, it's because you've either you've responded to all of your requests, or you actually don't have any requests. But if you want to see what your upcoming schedule is, obviously you can click here, and it will show up the ones that you have actually accepted. So there's that. Okay, then this screen is going to come up. So these all have a little different options here. The one I'm going to show you real quickly though is this one on the bottom, preferences and availability. So this one, you can let your team lead know through this pull down button here, you're available to serve. And most of the time you've already discussed this with your team lead and you've agreed on a certain amount of times that you're able to serve. So if you have already done that with your team lead, then you don't need to change that, and we would probably ask that you don't change that. So if you want to just leave that blank, but if you haven't and you're just available to serve all the time, click as often as needed, and we'll take note of that. On availability, this is where you're actually going to be able to block out dates, just like you did on Planning Center. So if you know you're going on vacation, whatever it might be. This is where you can block it out. So let's just say I'm going to be gone for Thanksgiving in November. So what I could do, and you don't necessarily need to block out like all the days that you're gone. It really just needs to be the Sundays that you're gone. So for example, if I was going to be gone from the 20th to the 26th, I don't need to block out that entire time. I just would block out the 25th, and I could say going on vacation and save that. And that way, when your team lead, if your team lead was going to go and schedule you on that date, there would be a pop-up that comes up letting them know that you're not available. Then you can just click home again. Browse open positions. Sometimes the team lead will open up the schedule in order for you to look at dates that are needed for that are open and have maybe need to be filled. Maybe, for example, there's a special service coming up. I'm thinking of Christmas, when we have our Christmas Eve services and we have just different times, and it's not something we would normally schedule. You could actually go in and say, hey, I'm available at this time. I could do these 2 services or whatever it might be. So that sometimes will be an option. Here is where you can, again, see where you are serving. That shows you what you're scheduled for. Here on Edit Contact Info, this is just very basic information that you can enter. I guess here is another spot. I forgot that this spot was here, that you can enter in your mobile carrier yourself. So what this is just going to show is first name, last name, your email, phone number, and then what your mobile carrier is. So if you want to opt in for texts, enter in that section right there. And it's got a whole bunch of different ones, so I'm sure the one you have is in there. So okay, so we'll go back to this. And I think that actually might be it. Serving requests, that's the same thing. If you have any that you haven't responded to, that's where those are going to show up. So really, that's it in a nutshell. When you're done, you can just click out of that page and you'll be done. You might want to keep your email here just for you to be able to go back in, and if you've forgotten your schedule, if you forgot to write it down, and can't remember what it was, you might want to just keep one of these emails. That way you can always go back in and check to see what your schedule was. But yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me again at carla@thewellslc.com if you have any questions. But yeah, that's it in a nutshell. And like I said, we'll be rolling these out this week or next. So be looking for those new emails coming from CCB. Have a great day, everybody.